The gunshot cut the music in half. 1 second violins were singing. Next second, silence slammed into the room like a door kicked shut. A glass shattered. Someone screamed. Chairs scraped. Security reached for weapons they suddenly realized they did not control. He stood at the entrance, holding the pistol like it belonged in his hand more than breath did. Not rushed, not tense, just certain. Amara turned, not toward the noise, toward him, because danger has a gravity of its own, and is pulled harder than fear ever could. Tall, black suit, calm eyes, face carved from restraint. He scanned the room once, quick, surgical, threat, exit, distance, witnesses. When his gaze reached her, it stopped. Most people looked away when they met a man like that. Survival instinct, self-preservation, basic biology. She didn't. She tilted her head, interest, not fear. That was new. A guard hurried to his side. "Sir," he escaped through the rear corridor. The man's eyes never left. "Amara." "Close the street." "Yes, sir." The gun lowered slightly, not because the danger passed, because he decided it had. Across the table, Amara's friend clutched her wrist. Don't stare, please don't stare." "He started it," Amara said softly. He stepped closer. One slow step, the kind of movement that makes a room lean back without knowing why. Conversations didn't resume. No one wanted to test whether sound required permission too. Now he stood beside her table. Up close, his presence felt different. He didn't radiate chaos, he radiated control, like storms asked him whether they were allowed to start. "You're not afraid," he said. His voice was low, even, calm enough to be more unsettling than shouting. Amara rested her chin lightly on her fingers. "Should I be?" A pause. He studied her face the way investors study numbers before buying companies, not admiring, assessing, name, accent, posture, pulse, intent. "Interesting. What's your name?" he asked. Her friend choked. "Don't tell him." Amara didn't look at her. "Why?" "Because I asked." "That's not a reason. That's authority." One of his men shifted. "Sir, we should go." He lifted a finger. The man fell silent. Power never needs volume. "What would you accept as a reason?" he asked. "Honesty." "About what?" "What you really are." The air between them tightened. People nearby stopped pretending to eat. He could lie. Men like him lied professionally. But lies bored him, and boredom was a luxury he avoided. "I run corporations," he said, "and operations." Her eyes warmed slightly. "Legal ones?" "And others." Her friend whispered, "Amara, please." Amara ignored her. "So, you're dangerous." "Yes." She nodded once. "Amara." He repeated it quietly, testing the weight. "Amara." Her name sounded deliberate in his mouth, like something selected rather than spoken. He slid a black card onto the table. Matte. Minimal. Expensive enough to be rude. "Your dinner is covered." She glanced at it, then back at him. "And if I want something else?" His voice lowered half a degree. "Then choose something else." Her breath paused. Just once. He saw it, registered it, stored it. Behind him, someone whispered his name. Not loudly. Fear doesn't need volume either. Han Min-Jae. Recognition rippled through the room like wind through grass. Amara watched his eyes, not his reputation. "Do you always enter places like this?" "Only when necessary." "And tonight?" "Necessary." A beat. "You ruined Valentine's dinner for 40 people," she said. "For 40, he agreed. "For me too." "Do you want compensation?" Her lips curved slightly. "Depends what you're offering." He held her gaze, not smiling, not blinking. Just there. "Time," he said. That answer landed. Softer than it should have. She didn't know why it did. Behind her ribs, something shifted position. He straightened. Decision made. "Enjoy the rest of your evening." He turned, then stopped, looked back once more, as if confirming she was real and not something his mind invented to entertain itself. "Happy Valentine's Day, Amara." He walked out. His men followed. The door closed. Sound returned carefully, like it needed clearance. Her friend grabbed her arm. "Do you understand who that was?" Amara picked up the card. Han Min-Jae, executive chairman. Nothing else, no number, no email, just a name that sounded expensive. Her friend leaned closer, voice thin. That's not just a CEO, that's the CEO. Money, power, rumors, investigations that disappear. People don't say his name loudly. Amara traced the letters with her thumb. Her pulse didn't slow. Good, she said. Outside, a black car waited at the curb. Inside, Min-Jae sat with one hand, resting against his chest, thumb absently touching the chain beneath his shirt. The ring rested there, cool against his skin, where it had rested every day for years. His driver asked, "Home, sir?" Min-Jae didn't answer immediately. He saw brown eyes that didn't flinch. He heard a voice that didn't tremble. He felt something unfamiliar. Not desire, not curiosity. Interest sharpened into intention. He took out his phone. Inside the restaurant, Amara's phone vibrated against the table. Unknown number. Her friend whispered, "Ignore it." Amara. His voice came through calm and precise. "Did you finish dinner?" Her lips curved. "You interrupted it." "I can continue it." Silence stretched. Charged, curious. Her friend shook her head violently. Amara asked, "Are you asking me out after threatening a room full of strangers?" "I'm inviting you," he corrected. Confidence without strain. Authority without effort. The kind that didn't need permission to exist. "And if I say no, I'll ask again tomorrow." Her stomach tightened, annoying reaction. "What time?" she asked. Across the street, inside the car, Min-Jae's thumb pressed lightly against the ring beneath his shirt. "Now," he said. A pause. Her friend mouthed, "Don't." Amara looked at the door he'd walked through minutes ago. Her voice lowered. "Send the location." He ended the call. No goodbye, no hesitation, just decision. Her phone chimed. Address received. She stood, smoothed her dress, picked up her purse. Her friend grabbed her wrist. "You cannot be serious." Amara smiled slowly. "I've never been more serious." Outside, headlights waited like patient eyes. And for the first time in years, Han Min-Jae was not thinking about business, enemies, or power. He was thinking about a woman who didn't scare easily. If you felt that spark too, subscribe now. This night only gets more dangerous from here. The car door opened before she reached it. No driver stepped out, no greeting, just quiet efficiency, the kind that assumed obedience without asking for it. Amara paused beside the open door and glanced inside. Han Min-Jae sat waiting. No gun now, no chaos, just him in shadow, one arm resting along the seat, gaze steady like he'd predicted every step she would take from the moment she said yes. She slid in. The door shut behind her with a soft final click that sounded suspiciously like a decision. The car moved instantly. Not fast, smooth, controlled, like even speed obeyed him. For a few seconds, neither spoke. The city lights drifted across his face, revealing angles, then hiding them again. He didn't stare at her like most men did. He observed her like she was a question worth solving. She crossed her legs slowly. "Do you always pick women up like confidential documents?" "Yes." That answer should have sounded arrogant. It didn't. It sounded factual. She tilted her head. "Do they always get in?" "No. And if I hadn't, I would have waited until you did." A small pause. Her pulse betrayed her with one harder beat. Outside, traffic thinned as they left the crowded district. Inside, the air shifted, quieter, warmer, closer. She studied him openly. "So, Mafia CEO. I don't use that title, but it fits. I prefer precision. And what's precise? I run what I own." His voice didn't rise, didn't drop, just stayed steady like it trusted itself. She watched him a second longer. "You don't flirt, do you?" "No. Not even a little." "No." She smiled faintly. "Good. I hate amateurs." That earned the smallest flicker in his eyes. Not quite amusement, not quite approval, something sharper. "You're comfortable," he said. "With you." "With risk," she shrugged. "Fear wastes time." Silence again. Not awkward. Charged. The kind of silence that leans closer instead of pulling away. His gaze dropped briefly to her mouth. She noticed, so did he. He didn't apologize. Outside, the car turned into a private drive, lined with dark glass buildings. No signs, no noise, no people. Her brow lifted. You brought me to an office? Yes. For Valentine's night? Yes. That's either very boring or very dangerous. It's efficient. The car stopped. Her door opened again from the outside. Still no driver greeting. Just access granted. She stepped out. The building in front of her looked like money, and Silence had signed a contract. Black glass, steel edges, no name on it. The kind of place that didn't advertise because people who mattered already knew where it was. Inside, the lobby lights rose as they entered, as if the building recognized him. No receptionist, no guards in sight. Still, she felt watched. He walked beside her, close enough that she could feel his body heat. Through the thin space between them, not touching, not yet, just present. Elevator doors opened before they reached them. She glanced sideways. Do you control machines too? Yes. She smirked. Impressive. They stepped inside, doors closed. Silence wrapped around them. Small space, close air. His scent settled around her. Clean, dark, warm. Dangerous in a way perfume companies wish they could bottle. She leaned lightly against the wall. So what happens now? I decide whether I like you. Her eyebrow lifted. You're still deciding? Yes. And what determines that? He stepped closer. Not rushed, intentional. Distance vanished. Now she could feel his breath near her cheek. Slow, even, unaffected. This, he said. His fingers lifted. Didn't touch her. Hovered near her jaw. Waiting. Her pulse jumped. She didn't move. He watched her eyes, not her lips. Measuring, calculating, confirming. She didn't flinch. His knuckles brushed her skin, light, testing. Her breath shifted. That was enough. His hand dropped. The elevator stopped. Doors opened. He stepped out first. She stayed still 1 second longer, steadying her heartbeat like it had embarrassed her. Then she followed. The top floor looked nothing like an office. It looked like a private world. Low lights, floor-to-ceiling windows, city glowing below like scattered gold. A long table set for two, candles already lit, plates covered, wine breathing in crystal. She looked around slowly. You prepared this before you called me? Yes. So you were confident? Yes. That I'd come? Yes. Her lips curved. That's dangerous confidence. I don't invest in uncertainty. She turned toward him. People aren't investments. No, he said. They're risks. A pause. And I like risk, he added. That line didn't sound like flirtation. It sounded like confession. She walked toward the window. City lights painted her skin gold. He watched her like he'd forgotten the room existed. She turned back. Tell me something real. I don't lie. Not something true. Something real. A beat. What matters most to you? She asked. Silence. For the first time since she met him, he didn't answer immediately. His fingers moved slowly to his chest, hooked the chain beneath his shirt, pulled it free. A ring hung from it. Heavy. Old. Worn smooth by years of contact. My grandmother gave me this, he said. His voice changed, softer. Lower. Not weaker. Just deeper. She told me men like me forget what matters. She said if I wore it near my heart, I wouldn't. Amara watched his face, not the ring. You believe her? She asked. Yes. You always wear it? Yes. You ever take it off? No. The room went quieter after that answer, because something in the way he said it sounded permanent. He let the ring rest against his palm a moment, then released it. It fell back against his chest softly. Her voice came gentler without permission. You loved her. Yes. Simple, final. True. She stepped closer. Close enough that the space between them felt intentional. You're not what people think, she said. I am exactly what they think, he replied. They just don't think far enough. Her lips parted slightly. His gaze dropped to them again. Stayed. The air tightened. Outside, the city kept moving. Inside, time slowed down to watch. If your chest just tightened like hers did, like this video now, because this night is about to change everything. He didn't step closer. That was the dangerous part. Most men closed distance when tension rose. Min-Jae held it, let it stretch, let it heat. Control was his favorite language, and silence was his favorite punctuation. Amara felt it. The pull, the invitation, the test. So she crossed. The space for him. One step. Now the air between them wasn't space, it was friction. You study people like files, she said quietly. Yes. And what does my file say? That you don't scare easily. That all? That you want to be impressed. Her lips curved. Are you trying? No, he said. I'm deciding. A beat. About me? Yes. She leaned closer, not touching, close enough that her voice brushed his mouth when she spoke. And? His eyes darkened slightly. Undecided. She smiled, slow, intentional. Then you should gather more data. He understood the challenge. He understood the invitation. He understood her. That was the problem. Because understanding led to interest, and interest led to risk, and Min-Jae avoided risk unless he chose it. He reached past her, lifted the wine bottle, poured into 2 glasses without looking away from her face. His movements were precise, economical, controlled. Even the wine obeyed him, landing exactly where he intended. He handed her a glass. Their fingers brushed. Electric. Her pulse stumbled once. He saw it. She saw that he saw it. Neither mentioned it. They drank. Silence again. But now it breathed. Why me? She asked. He didn't pretend confusion. Because you looked back. That's all it takes? That's all it ever takes. She studied him. You're used to being obeyed. Yes. And I didn't. No. And you liked that? Yes. Honesty again. Effortless. Dangerous. She set her glass down slowly. So what now, Mr. Precision? His gaze held hers. Now I decide whether you're temporary or significant. That should have offended her. It didn't. It intrigued her. And how do you decide that? She asked. His voice lowered. Instinct. She stepped closer until the front of her dress brushed his suit. Barely. Intentionally. Then what does your instinct say? She asked. His hand lifted. This time it didn't hover. His fingers touched her waist. Firm. Warm. Certain. Her breath caught. She didn't hide it. His thumb moved once against the fabric, slow, thoughtful, like he was memorizing the feel of her through cloth. My instinct, he said quietly, is still gathering evidence. Her heartbeat turned traitor. She tilted her chin. Then test it. A pause. That was the moment the night crossed its line. His other hand rose, brushing a loose curl away from her face, knuckles grazing her cheek. Light. Controlled. The kind of touch that asks permission without words. She didn't move away, didn't blink, didn't breathe properly. His voice dropped. You don't hesitate? No. Why? Because hesitation is just fear wearing manners. Something in his chest shifted. Not violently, just enough to matter. He studied her like a man recognizing a rare language he suddenly understood. You're dangerous, he said. She smiled faintly. So are you. Silence again, the charged kind. Outside, wind moved across the glass walls. Inside, neither noticed. She glanced at the ring chain faintly visible beneath his shirt collar. Does that instinct of yours ever fail? No. Never? Never. Confidence that absolute should have sounded arrogant. It didn't. It sounded earned. She lifted her eyes back to his. Then prove it. How? Take a risk. He stilled. What risk? Her voice softened, slower now. Me. The word landed between them like a match. Min-Jae didn't speak. He looked at her. Really looked. Measured breath, steady pulse. No performance, no tremor. She meant it. Most people flirted with danger. She negotiated with it. He made his decision. His hand tightened slightly at her waist. Come with me tonight, he said. Not a request, not an order. An offer. To where? She asked. Where I go. And if I don't like where that is, you'll leave. And you'll let me? Yes. Truth again. Simple. Solid. She searched his face for deception, found none. Her pulse slowed instead of racing. Strange reaction. But calm felt safer than fear with him. She tilted her head. Is that a dare? Yes. Her lips curved. She liked dares. All right, she said softly. I accept. Something unreadable moved behind his eyes. Not surprise, recognition. As if the night had just confirmed something he suspected the moment she didn't look away from him in the restaurant. He stepped back. Distance returned. The sudden absence of his touch felt louder than sound. He picked up his phone, sent a single message. Somewhere in the building, systems activated. Plans shifted, routes cleared. Because when Min-Jae chose something, the world rearranged itself politely. He slipped the phone away, looked at her once more. Finish your wine, he said. You'll need it. For courage? For stamina, her eyebrows lifted. Confident. Yes. She drank. He watched. Minutes later, they were moving again. Elevator, lobby, night air. Car waiting like it had never left. This time, she didn't hesitate before getting in. The door shut. City lights slid across the glass as the car pulled into motion. She leaned back, studying him. Where are we going? You'll see. That's mysterious. That's efficient. She smiled. You really don't waste words. No. Good, I don't waste nights. A pause. His gaze dropped to her mouth again. Stayed. Her pulse answered. Outside, the city blurred into streaks of gold and shadow. Inside, something quieter formed. Not romance, not yet. Recognition. Two people realizing they'd just stepped into a story neither of them controlled anymore. The car turned down a darker road. She watched the ice streetlights pass. Tell me something. Yes. If I hadn't gotten in that car, would you have chased me? No. She looked back at him. Why not? His voice was calm, certain, final. Because you would have come anyway. Silence. Her lips parted slightly. He was right. She knew he was right, and that was the moment she understood something dangerous. She wasn't trapped in his world. She'd walked into it. If you felt that shift, subscribe and comment now, because what happens next will decide whether this night becomes a memory or a mark.